Hi, Gemini. It's Denise with Divine Soul Astrology. And today we are talking about your full moon, which is on December the 4th. And so the full moon is happening here on the West Coast at 3:15 p.m. on December the 4th. It's at 11:15 Universal Time, so please check for your area and your neck of the woods, right? So Gemini, the full moon is it's really good for you. It is because it's all about your clarity. It can definitely be. So when we have the full moon can bring clarity, right? It brings endings, it brings insight, it brings revelations, intuitive insights, things like that. It can also be about whatever we have started with the Gemini new moon, earlier this year. It can be even from a new moon that has happened in the past, like last year. It can be. Um, but for you, Gemini, it's in your first house. And what is Gemini about? The first house, right? The first house is about yourself. So this is why this is so relevant for you, right? But Gemini, you are really about the mind. This is your ruler is Mercury, and Mercury happens to be in Scorpio right now. Mercury in Scorpio also is very understanding what's been hidden, right? And so with the full moon. And when we say hidden, we don't necessarily mean somebody's been hiding something. It can be, but it's usually kind of hidden from our awareness, right? Our intuitive awareness. That's usually it. So, but Gemini, your sign, Mercury is your ruler. It's also the ruler for Virgo. So whatever's happening in Virgo is usually somewhat relevant, but especially with the aspects here. And we do have this square to the south node, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. That is in Virgo, right? But here, Gemini, Mercury is the mind. It is our decisions, our conversations, what we like to study, what we like to learn about, and, or what we're curious about, what we like to talk about. And Gemini can be about podcasters, right? And YouTubers and writers and things like that. Um, but it is about that. It's also about Gemini is also concerned with willpower, as it does rule the third house, the natural third, which is concerned with willpower, plans and goals, all these things that are of the mind, right? And details as well. And so there could be some kind of details that you are really learning, right? Could be. And Gemini also, this can be about, since you rule the third house, this is in your first house, but it can also be associated with siblings, the local community, your car sometimes. Yeah, anything that is, it has to do with the local community. Yes. So your car has very much to do with that, unless don't have a car, right? But this is about the local community, siblings. It can be about like our extended family. Yeah, and that is, and short trips, right? Yeah. All right. So the full moon is always happens, Gemini, when it is across from the sun. So this is what we have. With the full moon, we always have an opposition here, right? And so for you, Gemini, this is happening in your the full moon is here in your first house, and this is going to be in your seventh house here. Let's have a look at that. Yes, the seventh house is the opposite sign. So your opposite sign is Sagittarius, where the sun is sitting here. Your seventh house is about relationships, or is it about, it's also about how we relate to others, not necessarily a romantic relationship, but it can be about friendships, business partnerships, and how we relate to others around us. It is about fairness and balance, the seventh house. And it's also about opponents and, court cases, legal matters. So let's look at the square here. But the sun, briefly here, the sun is providing some clarity to you of either a relationship or relationships, or how you show up in them, or your attitude toward relationships, right? Or your attitude toward relating to people. It doesn't always have to be a relationship, right? And so here we have this opposition going on. So maybe you're learning something here about how you show up in relationships. That's a possibility. This can be, as I said, it can be anything that's related to that seventh house. Um, so let's look at this here. And we have the square from the moon to the nodes here. And, I'm bringing this up really because, the sun is also squaring the nodes. You see this here, if you can see the screen here, right? And what are the squares? The squares are about challenges for us, right? Um, and even this opposition here is it's a challenge. It's asking you to merge some energies here, to merge some energies to create change. This is a challenging aspect, the opposition, as is the square. The opposition can have us make a decision, and the square can, push us to just simply take action, kind of very impulsively. It can do that sometimes, but they're both kind of about, the square is internal conflict, and the opposition is, it's a bit challenging as well. So here we have the sun was squaring, the moon was squaring the nodes, and the also the sun is squaring the nodes. So as for the moon, Gemini, the let's look at the moon first, and it is squaring your fourth house of home and family. So there's something, maybe you want to move here. It's not clear here about that, but maybe you could be moving. Uh, after the full moon for some of you. But this is home and family, and this is also the fourth house of our emotional nature, right? And so this can be about our body. The fourth house is, when I say our body, it's kind of our emotions, right? This is how we express our emotions, really. And so, but the fourth house is also, it's about the past, and anything that is related to home and family or our tribe, our emotional foundation. Yeah. And so we have that square here. There could be something that you were feeling challenged about, but you're not. And this south node is also about leaving things behind. It's about learning from the past. It can be. So we have it in the fourth house, and we have it in Gemini. We have it in your 10th house, and your 10th house is the house of career. It's the house also of how people see us in the world, how they classify us, right? It's social status. It is, a divorce or marriage, or, it can be you're getting your master's degree, your social status. If you move really far away, that can change your social status as well. There's all kinds of different social statuses, but here, this is a square between, the home and family or your emotional nature, and possibly your private life over here and your social life over here, as I was saying, your social status, like out in the world, right? This can be about your work as well. But you're feeling challenged a little bit, possibly about your work, and that's a possibility, or about any of these 10th house matters that I've been talking about, right? The North Node is in Pisces here, so trusting your intuition will definitely help you um, navigate these, whatever situation that, this is, right? And, the South Node on it, this is interesting. The South Node's in Virgo, and, Virgo is also ruled by Mercury. So, but Virgo's about what's practical and, what we are analyzing, and, so maybe you are definitely, you're feeling challenged to kind of let things go, and, maybe take a more grounded approach at the same time, trusting your intuition, because the nodes are in this axis of psychological health and intuition and physical health, and wellness, and analyzing and grounding, and, practicality, things like that. All right, so the past could be catching up with the future here in some way, because it can here. The fourth house is about the past, as is the south node. And this can be related to your higher purpose. That could be the case, Gemini. Um, mhm. Uh, because also the sun is squaring the south node. The sun is in Sagittarius, which can be about your higher purpose, right? And that is in your house of relationships or your house of relating. Yeah, they're not the same. No, they're not. So, but this can be related to your higher purpose, because this is in Sagittarius, and the North Node is It is associated, yeah, it's connected to your higher purpose and your true potential. Really what your soul wants for you, what your heart really wants for you in this lifetime, right? And this is where we are all trying to go, really. You could be leaving old patterns behind that are associated, Gemini, with emotional patterns or how you're looking at something. I feel like you are trying to, you're looking at something with more practicality, yes, with the South Node in Virgo, and attitudes surrounding emotional health or being let go. And, this could be about patterns, as I said, maybe your habits. Pisces can also be about patterns. It can, health patterns, sometimes habits that don't serve us. Yeah. And Virgo is also about, it can be about habits because it's associated with our daily life. Yeah. But habits that are good for us, habits that can help ground us, right? Mm-hmm. And so, well, let's look at the moon here. The moon is also opposing Juno. Look at that. So here's Juno. Juno has to do with our ideal. It has to do with love and romance, right? And usually it has to do with our like what is kind of our ideal kind of attitude about love or a partner, really. And it is in your seventh house. Very interesting. So it's opposing Juno. This could be asking you to see your role in relationships differently. Yeah, it definitely could. And there is something new for you, Gemini. There's something new, definitely. And maybe how you relate to others as well, because Mars is in that seventh house as well. Yeah, and Venus is in your seventh house. It loves to be in the seventh house, Gemini. It really does. Although it is, yeah, it does love to be in the seventh house. And so Venus is, about love as well. So this is why it enjoys being in the seventh house. Ignore the eight that is here because that is referring to um, Taurus over here, which is, so yeah, this is your seventh house. Um, Yes, and Sagittarius, not Sagittarius, but Jupiter. Where is Jupiter for you? Jupiter is in your second house of money. Look at that, Gemini. So that's really good for you. And Jupiter is the great benefic. It's blessing you. So Jupiter's going to be there until June 30th. And yeah, and so very good for you. Let's go ahead and yeah. Mm-hmm. And so we have Mercury, your natal Mercury here. Let's look at natal Mercury over here. It's in Scorpio and it is trining your 10th house of career. Neptune is the ruler of your 10th house. We can say also Jupiter because Sagittarius and Pisces both share Jupiter. Neptune happens to be there. Very interesting in your 10th house of career. Maybe there was something you were kind of uncertain about, possibly. But because Neptune can bring confusion and uncertainty, right? But with the trine here, and Mercury is all about knowing. It's all about your intelligence, right? Your decisions and, your intellect for sure. And here it is. Um, yeah, let's look at that. It's actually in your sixth house of daily, oops, excuse me, daily obligations, work, responsibilities, and health. So, yeah, and so here we have Mercury there being very smart. It's also in Scorpio, right? And so Scorpio is, it can be, you're able to see beneath the veil. You're able to see things, right? Things that are deep, things that are really deep in our psyche could be. This can be about intimate relationships, Scorpio, it can. It is a money house as well. But here you have Jupiter from your second house of money and well-being. This is also about your stability, right? And how money kind of, it does how financial stability helps to build our self-esteem. Yes, it does, right? When I think about it, when you don't have any money, you're not feeling high and mighty, or it's not really high and mighty, but you're not feeling so great about your life at the time, right? So here we have Jupiter here shining on you, definitely in your money house, in your house of self-worth. And we have the trine coming from your sixth house of, so you know what to do about something, I believe, about your work or your wellness or your health, Gemini. I feel like you do. And the trine is really supportive here. And it is trining that 10th house, the 10th house of career as well. And for sure it is. And here's Saturn is here. And Saturn and Pisces are still, and Neptune are still in a conjunction. They are, one's at 25, one's at 29 degrees. This is still a conjunction. The trine is really helping you here, Gemini, as, as it relates to those sixth house matters, work and health and, yeah, wellness and things like that. And so, yeah, and so there could be new work for you here. There could be. I feel like there's something new here. And, Pisces, Neptune rather, with Saturn here, Saturn loves the 10th house because Saturn is the ruler of the natural 10th house. Um, and so, they're working together, I believe, here with this trine, especially coming from your ruler, right? This is Gemini, this is your ruler. So this can be where you are, something's very supportive, where you're actually, it's very grounded and practical, but you're actually trusting your intuition. You're using your creative skills. You could be doing that right there. All right, I'm gonna end this reading today, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining me here. And please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to the 1,000 subscribers, right? Thank you so much, you guys, and have a great Thanksgiving in case you are celebrating that, right? Which is tomorrow. I'm recording this one day before Thanksgiving. Thanks so much, guys.